There are still some free agents out there. The Patriots didn't sign every single free agent, so
They
there
did.
are.
I thought they
They
did.
did. No, they haven't yet.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, they're still working.
Has Bill gone through the bank yet, or what? Do we have a count?
He's still got room. He's asking Mr. Kraft to get some more money out. So the top free agents are still out there, some of them at least, and particularly at the wide receiver position, where reports have come out that a lot of these bigger name receivers are not signed because they're asking for too much of that money. Kenny Golladay, Juju Smith-Schuster, Will Fuller, those three names are out there. Could you possibly see any fits for those guys, or maybe why do you think they're still on the market?
You know, each year you see like that the market resets, right? It always does. And it kind of goes by one guy, because then we have a price point. And I don't think that we've seen the market yet get the price point. I think there are also some really, really good guys that they could pick up in the draft. And so, you know, for a team that's struggling with cap space, I might be looking more for the wide receiver pickup from, you know, from the draft than I am a really high priced receiver. You know, I'm hot and cold on Juju. I really am. Like, I really like him. I really want to like him. His focus comes into question for me at times, and the consistency. Like, he didn't give me, I got that Juju working in Pittsburgh this year. So I don't know if that's where I'm going to really make a break the bank kind of move. And we're dealing with a reduced cap this year. So everybody's going to have to reduce that expectations just a little bit. And it looks like it might be on the wide receiver side. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I could see a guy like Kenny Golladay, who I would consider an elite number one wide receiver. He might want to bet on himself, 1-year contract, maybe taking not quite, 20 million that you would in years past because of that reduced cap, and thinking that 1 year I can show out, I can have another 1,000-yard season, and then go next year in the off season and really cash in that way.
Where would you see him really going well?
I predicted him to go to Indianapolis. I think they need a number one wide receiver. And actually, Kenny Golladay reminds me a lot of Alshon Jeffrey, the same type of player. And Alshon Jeffrey, of course, worked with Carson Wentz and Frank Reich in Philadelphia. So I kind of see that. I thought Jacksonville might be a fit due to Darrell Bevell being their offensive coordinator and Bevell being offensive coordinator Golladay, but it feels like they've already went their way with the wide receiver position. Maybe New England again, but I really don't know. Like, there's plenty of teams. Like, I feel the wide receiver position is a position that you could have as many receivers as possible. Like, just bring in all the talent as you could possibly get. But yeah, it's tough if he does not want to reduce his price.
It depends on the mentality, right? And the contract that you're going to sign. If he's going to do a 1-year deal, he needs to go to a place that's going to make him very productive. Right? He needs to go to a place where he can be a true number one and command number one receiver yardage and number one receiver dollars. I mean, he's going to want to go to a place that has a quarterback that can get there and a real need, so he can seal the deal. Right? I don't think he wants to go and slot into a system that he may not be able to dominate numbers wise, especially if it's a 1-year deal.
It will be interesting to see if this continues to drag on, does he consider taking less to sign with maybe like a contender like Kansas City or somebody of that nature?
Could be interesting. I wouldn't hate him in Atlanta with their restructured deal. And, Matty Ice is still one of the best ones out there, right? They were highly productive last year. He's going to need it. I want him to have a dynamic quarterback who can get the deep ball.
Will Fuller's a little bit different because Will Fuller, he's dealing with a suspension. He's had a lot of injuries over the course of his career, but I do feel that's going to end up being a bargain for a team if he stays healthy because he is very dynamic. Is there a team that kind of stands out to you? I know one that's heavily been rumored over the last year or so has been Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Aaron deserves to have a true, like, number one, right? What was it? They've never used a number one draft pick on a receiver for
Yeah,
Aaron
well,
Rodgers.
they got lucky with Devontae Adams. He's become that guy, but
Right, he's become that guy. But like, and nothing off Devontae on that. But like, let's give Aaron Rodgers some help, right? Like, let's give him a few more targets. I would love to see what he would do if he had like. Can you imagine if Aaron Rodgers had like the weaponry that Tom Brady has in Tampa Bay or that Mahomes has in Kansas City? I mean, there's got to be times when these guys just look and go, what about me? Right? But they might be doing that with Cam Newton in New England right now and going, hey, Bill, did you? No, because I could throw to all them. So I think you might get a little receiver envy around, or I'm sorry, quarterback envy.